Welcome back and happy Monday after Thanksgiving. I hope all of you had a wonderful time with family, friends, your cat, your dog, and I hope you gained a few pounds because I know I did, and maybe I won't feel so bad about it. We are going to be talking about the most expensive storage unit in the country this week, and I'm also going to update you on that 10x5 in Woodland, California. Remember, was the safe open? Was it not open? Yeah, that's the spicy update. Be sure to stay tuned to the end of the video for that. Let's go ahead and head on over to Phoenix, Arizona, where our top storage unit is located. By the way, this week, we have a brother and a sister. There's two of them. Okay, so unit number one is a packed 10x30. It currently sits at $45,010. There are a few pictures to look at, so we're going to pull those up and find out what is driving the price here. If you buy storage units or you're just a collector in general, I really hope you know what those boxes are. In fact, I have one right here. They're heavy, and guess what? They are full of money. Those are comic boxes, my friends. And fortunately, the owner of this storage unit did label some of them, so let's see what we've got. All right, just to read some of these labels, I do see DC, Fate, and Flash, Marvel, X-Men, two boxes that say Indie, a DCT, DCS, DCK, DCG through I. There's another box here that says Spider-Man and Marvel Universe. For those of you who aren't too familiar with comic book boxes, I see a lot of long boxes. Typically, those are going to hold about 270 comics bagged and boarded, and then your shorter boxes are going to be anywhere from 150 to 175 bagged and boarded. And when you buy something like this, you're just going to be sitting back, crossing your fingers, hoping that everything is in fact bagged and boarded. When I say bagged and boarded, this is what I mean. This is a bag. This is a whiteboard. It helps protect the comics. You don't want to get corner wear. You don't want any creasing, any bending, anything like that. So bags and boards are fairly cheap. However, if you have this many comics and you have to bag and board them, it is going to cost a bit of money. Hot tip for all of my fellow eBay sellers or those that are aspiring to sell on eBay. If you are selling comics, sell them and ship them in a bag and a board. You want those comics to reach your customer as safely as possible. You do not want damage during shipment. If they do get damaged, that's a real quick way to tank your feedback and affect sales moving forward. So looking at this 10x30, we can see there is some wood. There's a nice pallet jack in there, which you're gonna need it because comics are really heavy. It is a 10x30. So if you haven't ever seen a 10x30 storage unit, just take a look at your bedroom or your office or just a standard room in a home. Typically they are 11x12. This one is 10x30, which is 300 square feet, and 11x12 is 132 square feet. So basically wherever you're sitting right now, take it and double it and add just a little bit more. That's how much you are buying here. At a high bid of $45,010, you got your work cut out for you here. Listen, you're not going to hit the Holy Grail. You just aren't. You're not going to find an Action Comics #1 here. What you are buying is bulk. And speaking from recent experience, comic books are a lot of work. It takes a lot of time, but it really does pay out in the end if you are willing to put in the work. Like I mentioned earlier, this is the brother. Let's go take a peek at the sister. Same facility in Phoenix, looks super similar. I can say with 100% certainty that these two storage units are the same owner. We have a little less as far as the comic book boxes go, but we do gain some other boxes and what appears to be some figurines. Comic book boxes that are flipped on their side and then stored on top of the totes, I'm going to go ahead and say they are empty because, again, a comic book box weighs a lot when it is full. So keep that in mind when bidding on this. I do assume that is why it is only $17,000 versus its brother that is $45,000. There is an empty box right up front that says Randy Trades. So perhaps this is a comic book store. You could be picking up their inventory, and that's a great buy because it might not just be comics. You could have games. We know there are some figurines in the second unit. The sky is kind of the limit. This one does sit at $17,260, so it is significantly less. And between the two storage units, that's a lot of money. But when you're buying at auction and you know that there is a sister unit, it is typically best to try and purchase both. If you can't purchase both, which I don't know that a lot of people can afford both of these units, do try to get the better one. This one seems like it'll be the bargain out of the two, but again, there's a lot of empty boxes. We have just over 2 days on both of these storage units. So I'm gonna try to make a guess at what they're gonna go for. Comic book units go for a lot of money. Toy units, the action figures, those kind of units are up there with guns. They do command a very high price. I do believe the first unit is going to sell somewhere in the neighborhood of $52,000. That's what I'm going to guess. This sister unit that's currently at $17,000, I would anticipate it ending probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $21,000. So be sure to come back next week. I will update you on both of these storage units. Let's talk about last week's unit in Woodland, California. Woodland. This auction was just driving me nuts. It was a repeat unit. We watched it sell just 2 weeks prior. It came back as a non-lien manager special, which means that the people at the facility, they were allowed to go inside of it. In the first few photos, the safe was closed. In the second to last photo, the safe was open. So clearly they opened it. And if they opened it and they saw the guns inside of the safe, they can't sell them. A storage facility can sell a unit at auction that has gun cases. As long as they can't see the actual gun, they can continue the auction. The moment that they're able to confirm that there are firearms inside of a storage unit, they're not allowed to sell them. They have to remove them out of the storage unit and then continue the sale without the guns inside. When we featured this unit, it was at $21,510. My guess at the time was that it wouldn't go up a single penny because it didn't need to. It wasn't worth the money. I was kind of right in a roundabout way because it didn't sell. They canceled the auction. It ended at $21,600. I have no idea why they canceled this auction. It's a non-lien manager special, which means the facility now owns it. So there really was no reason for them to cancel it outside of the big mistake that they made with the photos. Here's to hoping that we don't see it again. Actually, you know what? It can come back. Someone can blow $30,000 on it. They can put themselves out of business, and then I don't have to deal with them running up a storage unit price anymore. That's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to come back next Monday. I'm going to update you on the brother and sister unit that we featured today. And then I'm also going to bring you next week's top storage unit at auction. So until I see you again, I hope everyone has an amazing week, and please be kind to each other. Bye.